Well, whether you realize it or not, we've just given you the recipe for a healthy lifestyle, and it comes in the form of a miracle morning. And what does that look like? It's 15 minutes. 5 minutes of meditation, 5 minutes of movement, and 5 minutes of mindfulness. 15 minutes. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I don't have 15 minutes. Guess what? Next time you're looking at your phone, check that screen time and do an honest check of how much time you might be spending on Instagram or Snapchat or Twitter or your favorite podcast. I think you can reallocate 15 minutes to your own health. So what does this look like? You wake up in the morning, first thing, you brush your teeth, and then you go sit down for 5 minutes and do some breathing exercises like Rajni taught us. Super simple. You don't need a meditation cushion. You don't need to light a candle. If you want to do that, great. But other than that, just sit and breathe. Check in with yourself before you look at your phone. That's the key. Next, 5 minutes of movement. Some of those stretches that Phil taught us, great. They get the blood flowing, and you're going to feel much better to start your day with after doing those morning mobility drills. And then third, 5 minutes of mindfulness. What does that look like? Just what Dawn and Kendra talked about. Mindful eating. Maybe you sit down, you prepare your own breakfast. Without your phone, you sit with a loved one, you chew your food, you acknowledge the colors on your plate, you acknowledge the person who made you the food or where it came from. Really thinking about that connection between food and how it's going to energize you for the day and really turn on your brain, like Dr. Drew talked about. So I hope you take away from this your miracle morning recipe and get prescribing yourself an amazing, healthy lifestyle going forward. So with that, we're now going to transition a little bit to talk about sports, because nowhere else are we seeing more of a movement towards healthy living than really in organized sports. How many of you here remember good old Jim McMahon from Da Bears? When you think of Jim McMahon, do you think of healthy living? Not so much. There's a good picture of Jim McMahon on the sidelines, chomping on his fast food hot dog. Well, we've come a long way today. We've got the likes of Tom Brady, who's pretty easy on the eyes. It's a fan favorite of my husband. It's a screensaver, actually. It's troubling when you have 4 kids, and the man's screensaver is Tom Brady. There's a lot of questions there. You can let that marinate for a little bit. But Tom Brady, as many of you know, at 41 years old, led his team, the Patriots, to a Super Bowl victory last year. And he's really become the poster child for healthy living. And then it's beyond football. In golf, who remembers John Daly? Anyone? Vodka drinking, cigarette smoking, huge gut. This is how this man played golf for years. Well, gone are those days, and now we've got uber fit golfers like Rory McIlroy right here. And it's not just individual players, it's teams, and not just the pros, in college as well. We have the men's basketball team from Texas Tech, and I personally love this one. Upon hitting a losing streak, the team captain came up with an idea. What if we gather up everyone's phones at 11 o'clock, they have a curfew, to ensure that everyone was going to get to bed at a good time? Well, guess what? They did that, and they started winning. And then they won again, and they won again, and they won again, and it took them all the way to the national championship. Now, I love the Red Raiders because, and I think every other parent in this room will love them too, because now we can actually look at our kids with a straight face and say, if you just put down your goddamn phone and get some sleep, you too might go to the national championship. And for those of you who are looking for a shortcut, we affectionately refer to that as the GDP now in our household. So it has a whole new meaning. So beyond that, now we've got right here in our own city of Chicago, our beloved Cubs. who've made an investment in the well-being of their players by hiring nutritionists and mental coaches and really looking at how they can help their players perform on the field and be better people off the field. And this is translated into great winnings for them, as we all can remember their amazing World Series win.
This is going to be a tough play. Bryant, the Cubs win the World Series! Bryant makes the play! It's over! And the Cubs have finally won it all! It's 7-10.
Still gives me chills to watch that one.